From an extremely young age, I never had an interest in reading and writing. Growing up in a household with my mom and dad fighting every night, I didn't have the best examples of parents, especially from a literacy standpoint. My dad has never finished a book in his life, and my mom was only concerned with her job and my physical health, let alone making sure I was able to read at a higher level than the other kids in my age range. My parents soon separated, and my mother became a single mom working full time, and being an only child, it meant that I had to learn a lot of things on my own. Whereas many of my friends had their parents to do things like take them to the library, the importance of literacy from a reading and writing standpoint was never enforced to me until my last year in elementary school. Every day, coming into the class in 6th grade, my teacher would make us play a game. The game was based on reading speed and comprehension. The faster your reading speed and comprehension, the better letter you got from the alphabet coming in to start the game the next day. For example, if you were to start at an E reading level, it meant that you had to get all the way to Z to get to the next reading grade level. Every day at the beginning of class, we would each individually go up to the teacher's desk, where she would hand us a piece of laminated paper. In the corner of the piece of paper was a letter which marked the hardness of the paper. This game quickly became a sponsor of mine, and the class became a secondary discourse that did not coerce with my primary discourse. At first, I was one of the worst kids in the class at this game. When I asked all the other kids what they had gotten when the teacher had tested them, they had all done better than I had. I started losing some confidence in my ability as a student, just because my reading level was subpar. Other students laughed and snickered at my reading ability. My response as how I was going to put an end to this was unclear for the time being. All these years, it did not occur to me that I had such a poor knack for reading. It made me feel embarrassed to go to class every day. But being a young kid that strived to get better at everything than everyone, the game quickly became a focal point for the class for me. I could not stand feeling like the stupid kid in class. The competition drove me to become a better reader. I quickly found myself working on my reading speed and comprehension, inside and outside of class. I, for the first time ever, began picking up books and trying to read them for fun. I quickly caught myself trying to do things like trying to persuade my friends to read certain books and articles that I thought were interesting. I never found excitement in bland black print on a white page. I could rarely seem to make the words on the page transfer to vivid, colorful, imaginative pictures and stories like every teacher told their students that they would have to do to become a great reader. This is the attributing reason to why I did not care to read books from start to finish. My only goal at the time was to be able to read one page faster and more efficiently than everyone I knew. To do this, I would pick up a random book and turn to the middle of the book where I thought the most action would be. Getting to the action was the only way I could focus on the book. Picking a random page, I would begin reading it just like I was sitting at the teacher's wooden desk in my 6th grade class. During every page I read, I would time myself. Then reading the page a second time, I would try to get a faster time. I also knew that if I had picked up on anything I had not noticed when reading the first time through, my reading comprehension needed to get better. I used multiple reading techniques to try to increase the level at which I read at, and eventually I did, past all those kids who made fun of me, and it empowered me. Reading started to act as an escape for me, an escape from all the domestic problems I struggled through on a daily basis. But even though growing up I could not find the necessary literary sponsors I needed to become a successful writer in my own house, I can say that my 6th grade elementary teacher is the one individual I can credit for forcing me to take an interest in becoming literate in reading and writing.